Hey, what's up, gig world? Truck driver here. Are you looking for a better paying side hustle other than rideshare or food delivery? Or maybe you're just trying to earn some extra cash for the holidays. If so, then this video is for you because I will explain to you how to make at least $1,000 per week delivering for Amazon Flex as a side hustle by simply implementing these 5 easy tips. And I guarantee by the end of this video, you'll at least want to add Amazon Flex to your collection of gig work. And I also guarantee that by doing so, it will help diversify your gig earnings because you could seamlessly shift your earnings in an instant if there are any unforeseen earning cuts in your rideshare or food delivery gigs. For example, I signed up for Flex in the fall of 2019 and I did a few deliveries that year. And I quickly learned the ins and outs of Flex by the time that the pandemic had hit in March of 2020. Which I was very grateful for that because I was seamlessly able to transfer gigs from rideshare to Flex deliveries in an instant. And I've been delivering for Amazon Flex ever since then. So you're going to want to pay attention to these 5 easy tips because you could potentially earn a decent amount of money with this side hustle. And if you stick around to the end of this video, you'll see how much more money I've earned by implementing these 5 easy tips. Amazon same-day rush facilities are mostly priority packages ordered through Prime, or the customer is paying an extra delivery fee of about $2.99 to rush the package overnight. So these facilities right here have a higher delivery priority, therefore a higher earnings potential to get the package out to the customer ASAP. These facilities and routes are 100% Flex drivers only. An Amazon DSP location, as in right here, are where Amazon vans pick up their daily packages to deliver to customers. And Flex drivers only pick up scrap blocks here, meaning Flex blocks only become available at this DSP location if van drivers call out sick or cannot finish their daily deliveries. So Amazon will then contract with Flex drivers to clean up any of these leftover packages at the end of each day. Usually they have a few late afternoon blocks available each day at these DSP locations. Lastly are Amazon Whole Foods blocks. These are delivery options only. So don't worry, these blocks will not require you to shop for the items like Instacart. These are usually 2 or 3 hour blocks and aren't that great to pay. However, unlike the first 2 Flex facilities that we covered, you are able to receive tips with these orders here at Whole Foods, which can greatly boost your pay. But you don't know how much the upfront tips are going to be, so you are essentially going into your block blind. However, Whole Foods customers usually tip pretty well on average. Okay, great. Now that we have that figured out, let's go on to the next tip, which I think is actually the most important tip. You're not going to want to skip it before you move on to the next. Again, you have to implement all of these tips to make this a guaranteed $1,000 per week side hustle. Tip number 2, surges. What are surges? Surges happen when there are more blocks available than booked drivers. So basically, because of this supply and demand issue, block rates will temporarily surge to attract more drivers. Why are surges important? Because they can help boost your pay by 25, 50, 75, or sometimes 100% more. And these surges happen all day, every day. So now that you know this, why would you ever want to take base pay again, knowing that you can double your earnings by simply knowing when to tap for a block? So never settle for base pay and please wait out for the surges. You will earn more. Yes, there is work involved and you'll have a little learning curve by having to learn when the best time to tap for the blocks are. Yes, there is work involved and you'll have a little learning curve by having to learn when the best time to tap for these surges are. But I promise you that it will pay off in the long run. Pun intended. I know so and I've done so because I've implemented this with my own earnings. For example, when I first started driving for Flex 3 years ago, I didn't know any better and I was taking base pay. But once I found out that surge rates happen all day, every day, I never took base rate again. Ever. And I'm going to quickly share with you right now and go down a list the best times surge rates are available. First are last minute surges. Right before standard block time starts, usually 15 to 30 minutes ahead of time, blocks will surge. This isn't a guarantee with every single block, but it's a guarantee several blocks per hour this will happen. The second one are early morning blocks. These blocks are very underbooked because no one wants to start work at 3:30 a.m., especially during the work week and especially in the dead of winter. The third one are late evening blocks. These surge when the warehouse falls behind during the day, or it's the re-delivering packages that were returned all day by other flex drivers. Plus, drivers would rather be at home with their family or watching TV on the sofa than out delivering packages from 7 to 10 p.m., especially during the winter months when the daylight hours are dwindling in and you're out there delivering in the dark. No one wants to do that, so take advantage of these surges. The fourth one are underbooked blocks. Sometimes the warehouse will underbook any block at any time and they will have to pay a surge amount to attract drivers at the last minute. The fifth one is add-on surges. Sometimes if the warehouse falls behind on sorting packages, they'll have to randomly add on blocks that typically don't exist at those hours. And if there aren't enough drivers that are available to take these blocks at the last minute, they will surge. And the last one, number 6, is inclement weather. Like snowstorms, heavy rain showers, or extreme heat waves or extreme cold weather. Drivers will want to stay at home in this extreme or inclement weather, and therefore the supply and demand is on the driver's side. None of us are working against one another as drivers. If we all sit and wait for surges, there will be higher pay for all of us. I use an analogy of the blackjack table where flex drivers are the players and Amazon is the dealer. So we are all working against Amazon as drivers to force these surges higher. However, Amazon will simply hire more flex drivers that are green and don't know any better, which will ultimately lower the surges. Tip number 3, time of day. You are going to want to make money and hustle while other people are sleeping or relaxing. What I mean by this is I'll take a block each and every day before or after my 9 to 5 while other drivers are sleeping during the morning time or relaxing at nighttime, and I'm out working, taking those blocks. For example, early morning blocks, which are typically between 3:30 and 5:30 start times throughout the week. Most people are worrying about their 9 to 5 jobs, getting ready in the morning, so they simply don't want to, or they just can't do Amazon Flex in the AM during the work days. So this is the perfect time to earn some extra cash because there are less drivers competing for those blocks. I've honestly made a killing over the years taking these block times during the morning. And each morning, I'll grab an early morning block between 3:30 and 4:30 a.m. and I'll knock a good paying block out before the sun even rises sometimes, before I start my 9 to 5 job. However, the only time that I've seen high competition with early morning blocks are typically Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, because the people working the 9 to 5 throughout the week will actually wake up early on the weekends and knock this block out. So I've seen a lot of competition for this time. Therefore, the chances of it surging are going to be a little bit lower. Late evening blocks, which typically start between 7 to 8 p.m., is a perfect time throughout the week and weekend to take these blocks. The reason being is that most drivers prefer to be relaxing at home with family and or prepping for the next workday. So there's less competition for these blocks during this time. Also, during the weekends, most drivers want to be out doing leisurely things and not willing to grind it out taking a block late night on a Friday or Saturday or even Sunday. So that's the reason why there is less competition during the weekend with these late night blocks. And if you take one of these early morning or late evening blocks, 6 or 7 days a week, you can easily see how I earned at least $1,000 per week, especially during the peak seasons. And that brings me to tip number 4. Time of year. In my market of Philadelphia, demand for Amazon Flex work, just like rideshare, fluctuates depending on the time of year. I make the most money with Flex during its highest demand peaks, which start with tax season and dies off by midsummer. Then Flex demand spikes again from Black Friday through New Year's weekend. Then demand goes dormant again till next tax season, which starts the cycle over again. Demand will also spike during Amazon Prime Day deals. Just remember this simple fact. Amazon Flex demand is at its highest peak when people are out spending money in droves, which usually is during tax season and the holidays. However, the slowest time of year is midsummer to late summer and definitely by the start of the school season, and then continues throughout Thanksgiving. Furthermore, Amazon will extend its working hours during peak season from 8 hours to either 10 or 12 hours, depending on your local laws. which I highly recommend taking advantage of these extended hours because you can easily earn more money in a single day than rideshare. For example, during peak season, I can easily make over $300 per day delivering with Amazon Flex. And this is another reason why you are going to want to add Amazon Flex into your collection of gig work. Because if you work the peak seasons of Amazon Flex into your gig work, this will help diversify your gig earnings throughout the entire year when rideshare is slow. Tip number 5, block length. This is the last and somewhat most crucial tip, because if you want the ability to make $1,000 per week driving with Amazon Flex as a side hustle, you are going to have to take the longer block lengths. I'm talking about the 4-hour, 4.5-hour, and 5-hour block lengths. This is because longer block lengths tend to surge higher percentage-wise a lot more often than the shorter block lengths. And if you take more longer block lengths, you'll work less blocks overall throughout the week and thereby secure a higher earnings faster throughout the week. Therefore, you could easily earn over $300 per day if you take 2 5-hour blocks that surge over $150 each. And this is definitely doable during peak seasons. Yes, these block lengths and rates are the most lucrative and therefore the most competitive. But if you want to be successful, then you are going to have to fight for these blocks early each morning. But I promise you, it's going to be worth it. So, if you live close to a same-day delivery Amazon warehouse, I recommend signing up to drive and checking it out ASAP. What do you have to lose? And if you follow these 5 easy tips, I promise that you will definitely earn at least $1,000 per week delivering for Amazon Flex as a side hustle. I appreciate you watching. Please like this video and comment below. And if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe to the Rideshare Hub. Also, I'll have a link in the comments below to my channel if you could please check it out and subscribe.